stay awake.
Yeah, I have the feeling that the I'm too tired honey tonight is gonna happen. The two of us are the big totally. I am totally exhausted.
Yeah, I mean, now you can make me yawn. No, but I mean, it's seriously. Yeah. Sometimes you just really are, and but maybe we can wake ourselves up. There's some pretty funny stuff.
Oh, I could use a giggle.
Okay, well, have you ever heard of the deep sea ghost shark?
Is this some sort of bad role-playing game?
No. No. But a sheet shark would be. But no, this is an actual shark that's been around for about 300 million years, even before the dinosaurs, apparently. And they've been caught on camera. And it's very bizarre-looking thing.
Oh, because it probably lives so darn deep.
Right, right. It's known as chimera is the actual proper name. It's very pale, wing-finned, very weird-looking, and they found it for the first time, or it was spotted, and then caught on camera near California and Hawaii.
Okay.
So it was really weird. But here's the thing.
Okay.
So in addition to that just being weird, and anytime, the biologists get really excited when they catch something that they, haven't ever gotten to see before, and they get it on camera. But this thing has a retractable sex organ on their head. So it's the penis head shark. It's...
Well, okay, put it this way. It's really dark down there. So it probably evolved a lovely way to just make sex as easy as possible. I see something, I fuck something.
Right.
I mean, they're just...
convenient as hell. Very good point.
I mean, here you are. I mean, world-class scientists that are probably putting down submersibles, doing this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very expensive research. Because really, we know almost nothing about this area of our planet.
Right.
And then they find an animal, with, just such differently placed sex organs.
Right.
And they must have just been like all 15 years old suddenly.
Yeah.
There's just no
with
way.
PhDs.
Yeah. They must, I can see the giggling.
Yeah.
Because, honestly, sex really is damn funny when you think about just normal, everyday stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is absurd how we managed to get all this to the species to survive.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, it's funny that we still have a drive to do it because if everybody took it as seriously, I mean, we'd crack ourselves up and nobody would ever have sex.
Yeah.
But this isn't actually sex. But last night, this is kind of funny. Fred, the studio dog. So normally, the one dog sleeps in this one room. She has like her own room at night. She goes to bed at 8:30. Fred usually sleeps in the living room, but last night I said, I don't really need to turn on the or to close the bedroom door, do I? And husband said, no, that's fine. And he starts to fall asleep. I can tell because I can tell when his breathing shifts, and I hear click, click. Click, 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 click on the hardwood. Here comes Fred, right? And you can hear him circling, on this side. Then he's like, maybe I'll get in bed with these guys. And then I start to laugh, right? Because it's pretty funny. Then, and I get a giggle on the other side. Then I hear, and he finally, this goes on for half an hour, woke me completely up. I think that's another reason why I'm tired because I was ready to sleep and then I wasn't. But, the dogs in the bed thing, they absolutely can't be there for sex.
No,
there's just no way.
No.
They put their noses in, literally.
And I mean, even if you have a little dog, you don't want to flip the covers and launch the dog across the room. That would be bad. I mean, that's not going to happen, Fred, here. No. Solid doggy.
Yeah.
But, little animals. I just like, oh, the door's open.
Yeah, you got to check the boxes, literally, when you're doing that. So this is kind of funny. Do you geek on real estate at all?
I do occasionally when I see houses that I think are particularly strange or ones that I really like. If I see a for sale sign, I will look them up, and stuff like that. Yep. Or, of course, people share a bunch of stuff, that they find weird. Usually some beautiful mid-century time capsules that are just stunning to look at the pictures. Yep.
Yeah. Well, this one you'll probably enjoy. It's a beautiful colonial in the Philadelphia suburb of Maple Glen. 5,000 square feet of furnished beauty and a dungeon.
Yeah,
With chains and swings and handcuffs.
We saw that. It got shown, and I shared it to some folks a few weeks ago when we first saw this, and then within 30 minutes the listing had been taken down.
Yep.
And it was so funny, but enough people have made screenshots of it. And honestly, I think it showed back up on my feed like 2 days ago because as this thing goes around, and I'm wondering if they sold the house.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. And it was the most tasteful, personalized, oh God, what was the phrase they used?
Personal sex lounge.
A sanctuary.
I thought the lounge was...
Lounge. All I know is I laughed so hard. We actually used it in an ad.
Oh,
That's
God.
a term. I'm like, if that real estate agent, whoever wrote the things, needs to trademark whatever the hell that site was because it was lovely. I think...
I remember talking about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just giggled. I'm going to look it up and see what in the world that phrase was because I love it.
You know, that's a really interesting thing because I'm kind of around that industry a lot. And I think it's fascinating that the people would go ahead. I mean, on one hand, there's an argument to show the pictures because then that way if people are freaked out by it, they don't go see the house. But at the other end of it, you're literally opening up your personal life, an aspect of it that wouldn't normally be visible in a typical listing picture.
Yeah, and it was also, I mean, it was beautiful. It was the most amazingly upscale dungeon. It wasn't dungeony at all. It was all about just, hey,
Big
sex
playroom.
Yeah, sex with those. Let me see if I can. Here we go. Oh, private sexual oasis.
Oasis, private sexual oasis. That's right.
And I love that. And I love the fact that it's, I mean, I'm hoping that it's sold, but I just love the fact that the neighbors were so incredibly like annoyed by this. I'm like, whoever buys it, is going in eyes wide open on this sort of stuff. And it's just going to be hilarious to see because damned well, that, I mean, that's going to be the most well-attended, housewarming party ever. Mm-hmm. Oh, private, that's my best favorite term ever is private sexual oasis.
Yep. So have you come across, every once in a while, I will run across a funny shaped vegetable. And I haven't had any luck since my ass radish a couple years back, which we put on the...
It really was it was just the cutest little radish, wasn't it?
It was adorable. It was like, it looked like a voluptuous model's butt. I mean, it was great. Not Kardashian voluptuous. I mean, just really nice. Yeah. So I haven't found anything, but Mark McComb, who happens to be, say it with me, a food tech. So he's like a sous chef. Mm-hmm. Bought a bag of carrots, came home and found one, and it's like legs with an absolute penis. So it will show up when we post the link to the article on the Facebook page. But yeah, so that's the best vegetable pick I've seen in a while. Have you come across anything good?
No, nothing since the penis-shaped mushroom. And my sister's, I mean, God, this had to be close to 20 years ago now, which was the best mushroom ever that grew in her yard. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure her son was just a toddler, and he's now in his early 20s. They keep growing. Oh, my God. Just nieces and nephews, and they're just hilarious. My daughter went to the daughter's old enough now, so she actually went into one of the stores the other day. And my first question was, did they card you? And he's like, yes, they were doing their job.
That's
I said,
great.
Thank you.
Good.
I realize I can have my kid go in and check and make sure they're carding folks.
That's really funny that, all those years, like, even though you're the owner, you can't even have your own kid in your store.
Nope.
That's interesting. And you like adhered to that, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. No, she was... Well, okay, when she was a very tiny baby, a few times at the... not walking yet, and when they busted a window or a door, I'd show up and with a bunch of blankets and tuck her in behind the counter, and have her go to sleep while we were dealing with stuff. But as soon as she could walk, then Grandma would have to come over and hang with the kid while I went and took care of the stuff. And then I also had employees that took care of a lot of that at the time, but there was a little bit of time when it was me.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. Okay, this is kind of funny. And I got in an argument with someone about the validity of needing this stuff.
Okay.
Dick Spritz. Basically, it's a penis spray called Boners, and it's $16, and it's a spritz, right? And it's in the supermarkets actually in Europe.
Oh no, yeah. I mean, you can find it in a lot of. You can find.
Have you seen it?
Yeah. Well, it's not this one. We saw something called Stud 100. It's a lidocaine spray, and it can be very useful if used correctly for premature ejaculation and keeping a hard on. But you definitely need to use it with a condom because you don't want to desensitize your partner.
Okay, well, this is just to clean it and make it smell good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And some people are going, well, wait a minute. Like, what's wrong with soap and water? Well, you know what? If you're going like straight after work and you don't have time to take a shower, what's wrong with little spritz? I think that's fine. I mean,
well, put it this way: there's plenty of things to make the vulva smell, good, and all this sort of stuff. They could have something for because really, a sweaty penis and balls. Some people might be into that. I'm thinking most are not.
Right. Well, and one review of it.
Oh, okay.
Guy said that his penis looked magical after spraying and smelled like rainbows.
Okay. What was really brilliant about that is that one of our phones had a notification during that step. So as you said, magical, and I don't know if the folks here could hear it, but there was this beautiful tone, this ring. And oh God, it was perfect.
Oh,
yeah, no, magical. Magical
like rainbows.
Smells like rainbows.
Speaking of magical, there's a new dildo that vibrates. It's a smart toy. Vibrates to the beat of your music.
Oh yeah. We have sold on and off versions of that, and I think there's one or two in the stores right now. I'd have to check, and I'm sure there's something online because remember I've got more online than I do in the stores, and it seems like a really good idea, but something new comes out with this. People buy a few of them, and then especially me, probably because of my population here, I sell my first batch, my second batch, and then it's like, okay, I'm done with this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I personally, I just with all the weird stuff that's happened with. I mean, from Facebook to Experian with breaches of things. I don't want anything hooked up to my phone that goes anywhere near my hoo-ha. I just, you just don't know these days. And that makes me really nervous, hacking and, all that stuff.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I laugh about the idea of sometimes security and stuff like that because most of the stuff was out there and people probably scooped it up long before things were locked down and they're just sitting on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When I think about what my ID used to be when I went to the U years ago, I used your social security number.
You're kidding.
Many schools did in the 70s, 60s, 70s, early 80s, and they finally switched it over.
Oh, my God.
Which is why I have my number memorized because I had to use it constantly.
Yeah.
Now, are you telling me that, folks, at the U have destroyed all of that old stuff?
Probably not.
No. Actually, probably just got all of it, yeah.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of trashing stuff, Japan is an interesting place. Have you ever been there?
No, and unless I went to maybe one of the Northern Island or something like that, where it's a little less populous, I think that I would feel very claustrophobic.
Yeah.
I might feel tall.
Yeah.
But I think I don't mind cities, but just watching stuff that is filmed there, and I think the food would be delicious because I like to, I do like, stuff and the care that they put into ceremony and all that I find attractive. But I think I would be completely overwhelmed by
Tokyo.
By the population and stuff like that. Same thing with, I think, India and other places would be lovely to go to, but I just don't think I could handle the crush of people. I don't know if my brain, living in the Midwest, I'm just not wired that way.
Yeah, I don't like crowds either. I love the city thing, to visit, but yeah, that would be stressful. Well, there's a problem. This story kind of, the problem shocks me. The solution sounds just like the Japanese.
Okay.
But okay, so the problem is litter, which they seem to me, from all accounts, for the most part, to be a meticulous society. I mean, years ago, there was this whole thing where in addition to the population, halt that they have right now, I mean, they're aging over there, but there was this thing where women went through this phase of like germophobia, and they wouldn't touch men, and it, like they said, it was affecting procreation over there. So they've got a litter problem in a district called Shibuya, and so this famous adult video production company there called Soft on Demand came up with these trash bins that have pictures of porn stars on them, and they say things like more, or I'll give up a lot if you put in. I mean, to get people to go up.
Did you just say soft, S-O-F-T, on demand?
Yeah. Soft porn referring to, not.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, much better then.
Yeah,
I was very confused because that didn't make a lot of sense there for a while.
Sort of counterintuitive.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure the word, I could run down to the DVD department because, we still sell actually quite a few of them. Last weekend, people really wanted their DVDs. And I'm pretty sure the word soft is not going to show up in a lot of titles.
Yeah. No, it was just that they were not, hardcore porn, I guess. But I think that's hysterical. That sounds so like something they would invent, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, they have, I really do like the fact that sex isn't the same all over the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's certain cultures do have their certain stuff like that because that certainly makes the world a more interesting place. For sure.
So, let's see. Survey by... Who is it? I'll find the survey, but basically it's porn survey. Oh, Pornhub. Of course it's Pornhub.
Okay.
Yeah. What porn do women like the best? Because, we've all finally realized that, yes, women like it too. Women watch it too. And so basically women, there's this particular poll says that lesbian porn is the most popular among women. Now, you may or may not find that surprising, but it's 151% more popular for women than it is for men. But they said that a significant portion is straight women.
Yeah, probably because they're going to be using toys. It's not threatening to their partners if they're watching it.
Yep.
And sometimes there tends to be even a little bit more plot. I mean, a lot of the stuff, and I'm not saying that I haven't, poked around some of these sites, is that it's, a lot of it is a little more rough or violent, people, there's a lot of different stuff, and that just doesn't, and it's really fun because I'm noticing in some of the stuff they do, they'll have like interviews with the people before and after. And they're like, yeah, it's sort of, it's play acting, we're doing this. And, they're countering some of the images with the interviews, about what's going on. And but I can see why they would go for that because a lot of the stuff, especially on that particular platform, is still very male gaze oriented.
Yeah. And the next one actually is heterosexual porn, but that appeals more to men. But rough sex, like the 50 Shades of Grey kind of BDSM stuff. This is kind of interesting, though. German women appear to prefer fetish-themed clips with feet and urination at the top of their list. Cosplay is big in Brazil. France and Argentina like cuckolding. Romantic videos are for India and the Philippines. And vintage porn is popular in Sweden.
So Sweden likes Bush.
Yes, that's what I...
That's actually, there was I was watching, Amy Schumer had a new, stand-up show on Netflix, and she makes a really funny joke about Bush, and then and about pubes and stuff like that, and then she pauses and goes, "And millennials' pubes are," because so many. Oh my God! I'm watching it by myself, and that was. I was giggling. I'm like, I like that. I thought it was a good show. I did snort when she said that, judging by the fact that an enormous amount of men and women that are younger than us just take off all the hair.
Yeah.
It's become just, fairly ordinary.
Yeah.
And it was the pause and then the timing on it. Pubes are, oh my God, that was so funny.
She can be wicked funny. Mm-hmm. Wicked funny. There's a very interesting story about a grandma, 71-year-old to be specific. And basically, her name is Marilyn Bursey. And when her husband died and her kids grew up, she felt like her identity was lost and she was kind of floating. So she now takes to the burlesque stage as her alter ego, Foxy Lemaire. Corset, nipple tassels, the whole 9 yards.
Oh, I bet she's awesome at it.
She loves it.
I know. Minneapolis has a very Minneapolis-St. Paul area has a lovely burlesque community, and I know some folks that perform, and it's just the themes and the things they go through there, and the body acceptance of the people on stage, and there's male performers here too, and it is so much fun. So seeing that to some extent, the burlesque is folks are, there's all ages for this is spectacular. Yeah. I think it would be just a hoot.
Yep.
And I've never. They're probably the most smiling performers I've ever seen as burlesque. Yeah. I mean, they're just, the crowd and them work off of each other. It's been a while since I've been to a show. I've got to see if my friends, some of them aren't doing it anymore, or this or that, life's got in the way of some of their, doing other performing. I got to see what's going on in town.
For sure. Well, she calls it tease without sleaze. Mm-hmm. And she just thinks that it should be prescribed to people because it gives her so much self-esteem and confidence and happiness. Sure I think that's pretty cool.
And especially since as women get older, we do, and it is documented, you become sort of invisible. And so there's not much more visible than burlesque. So that's beautiful.
She says her son is proud of her and her grandson thinks she's the coolest grandma ever.
That really would be fun, yeah.
Okay, so the keto diet.
That's the high-fat diet, right? Low carb?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, low-carb diet that focuses on eating a lot of protein and fat while avoiding fruit and starchy vegetables. Mm-hmm. And it's, it's the big celebrity thing, Kourtney Kardashian and, all the Victoria's Secret angels seem to be about it. And I mean, there's been a bunch of stories. And
I'm not sure if a healthy person needs it, but I know of someone that my daughter knew growing up that used it to really help regulate some seizures.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, there are very valid reasons for this diet that work very well. I'm not sure that weight loss and health-wise is one of them.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So this, though, there's a side effect. I mean, I've read a lot of columns about it, and some people swear by it. Other people said they got really bad headaches, blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. This particular story is about keto crotch, and apparently... Yep.
Okay.
Bacterial.
I'm seeing it pronounced with 2 Ks. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
So yeah, okay. So,
little alliteration work there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Bacterial vaginosis. And there's a bunch of comments. We'll post this on the Facebook page for you to read it. But if you have had this experience, you are not alone, and you can read what other people are saying. So that is a side effect.
So in other words, the body chemistry changes enough that you're creating more yeast infections and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, not yeast.
But yeast.
Vaginosis, bacterial. I don't know if that's yeast. I don't know if that's...
Yeah. It could be different things. That does not sound pleasant.
No.
I don't think I'd ever really have that problem. I seriously have an addiction to carbs.
Yeah, carbs are... Yeah.
Yeah, they are my friend. I'm not... there's a reason why I'm not 125 pounds. Is I heart my carbs.
You heart the carbs. Mm-hmm. There's another story. We've talked about this before, but this is a new story.
Okay. So
this makes news yet again in the second time, at least, in the history of the Great Northern Sexcast. It is the ass-biting Australian spider. Yet another poor bloke has gone into a potty and sat down and got his ass bit by a huntsman spider. And it is dubbed the world's smallest sexual predator and scared the bejesus out of him. And it came out, he told his friends about it right before the new trailer for the new Spider-Man came out. And they're like, oh, you're Penis Parker, not Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, that seems
Australia, man. I'm telling you.
If I could figure out how to get to Australia and like afford like a ship going there, although I'd probably throw up on that, but I don't know if I could, or it'd have to be like a 3-month trip to where I had shorter airplane rides. Because the idea of getting on a plane and going to Los Angeles and then, or whatever, the West Coast somewhere, and then flying over there, I would be crippled. My knee, I would be so uncomfortable when I got off a plane. But it doesn't. I mean, most things in Australia that are natural there to survive on that isolated island, they pretty much want to kill you, don't they?
Yeah.
I mean, there was a great video the other day of someone that was paragliding and then it landed, and then a kangaroo came up and punched him.
There's a video I just saw the other day.
Yeah.
I think that's the same one. That's been like in the last 2 weeks, right? And there's why
kangaroo.
I know, and you know what? I know it hurt, and I'm very sorry that it happened. But gosh, is it funny to see? It's hysterical.
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
like,
the guy walked away from it, so it's fine. So it's like, and if the person who's getting punched by the kangaroo posts the video of being punched by the kangaroo, that to me is permission to laugh at said person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, how can you not just get giggly seeing a kangaroo? Yeah. And the fact that they kick and punch, it's like, but wait a minute, you're cute. Yeah. Boom, boom.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Okay. There's some provocative topics here.
Okay.
All right. So I didn't find this via Reddit, but there is a Reddit thread out there about it. So a guy is really mad at his girlfriend because she doesn't want to be on the pill. It doesn't agree with her. Oh
yeah, because it could kill her, stroke, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, some people just can't handle it.
Yep.
I didn't like it either. Anyway, so they use condoms, right? But she says, well, you have to buy them, and she will not contribute, and he's pissed. And she says it's his responsibility to buy them. And she doesn't like to. And she said, look, it's really expensive to be a woman. I have to buy more stuff, shaving and, sanitary and all the other.
She is right. She is there. It is more expensive to be female than it is male. But I do think that birth control is, I mean, honestly, if you were dating someone and someone was on the pill, I think coughing up half the amount for that would certainly be appropriate while you were seeing someone.
Yeah. I mean,
it's a mutual, that's a mutual thing.
Yeah.
To go through there.
I remember when I was in my 20s, when I used that, I was still in California because that's where I'm from, and I was living in San Diego, and I paid $30 a month for my pills if I got them.
I mean, can you imagine what they are now? Because I didn't have it. There was an insurance, and I was buying them. It was like $25 here.
Mine was $30 with insurance.
Oh,
back then.
Okay.
So I finally started driving across the border to Mexico to buy them, and they were like $350 a month. It's like they've got to figure out something. It's like I have no problem with a certain amount of profit, but the imbalance worldwide and how much we pay versus it's just not fair. They've got to do something about it.
I agree. It's just you should people should not you should be able to get birth control, and you should not be rationing your insulin. And if you this stuff, and there's just really absolutely no reason, especially that some drugs have been around for 50 plus years now. Right. EpiPens and stuff like that. This shit is not new technology.
Do you know what an EpiPen costs?
Isn't it like $354 now?
Oh, no, it's like $6 something.
$6 now?
Yeah, and I'm supposed to have one, and I don't because of that. I need to deal with that pretty soon. Have you watched the new Queer Eye?
No, I haven't. I actually started getting. I probably should. Because I'm curious because it's been renewed now for like a third season. So obviously, there's something about it that is different than the old one. Because I got really bored with the old one. I probably watched about 3 seasons of that, and then I went, okay, we're beating the same themes here.
Yeah,
and it looks like they've branched out. You know, and what they're doing.
Yeah, they have. I watched the first season. And they're very short episodes, so you could binge it really, really easily. The guys are fun, but it is a little different. They help men women. At one point, they did a fire station because it needed to be upgraded and you know, stuff like that. So one of the episodes, they said, the promotion says, it'll make you ugly cry. So cute. It was set in Lawrence, Kansas. This is so sad. The episode is called Black Girl Magic, and she's a 23-year-old African-American girl who was adopted as a baby and then disowned by her adoptive parents at 16 when they found out she was gay. And so she's been taking care of herself for 7 years. She was going to the University of Kansas for a while, but she's, you know, just working as a waitress right now because she's trying to just support herself. And so her friends nominated her. And they also started, well, her story started a GoFundMe page to help her get back into college. And one of her idols is the singer Janelle Monáe, and she actually contributed, which is really sweet. But
I love her voice.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So it's really cute. They raised $30,000. Great episode. I haven't seen it yet, but it's a really good show, Colleen. If you haven't watched the new group, I mean, they're fun.
Yeah, I always did like the show because, and honestly, some of the guys that have continued on from the original show, they've really, you know, they're just. Whenever I see them, I pause and see what they're doing. You know, because I liked the guys that did it.
Oh God, yes, so did I.
And so they chose just as well with the guys this time.
Oh, I think so. Yeah. I mean, they're made up differently, but they've cut. Oh God, the hairdresser just slays me. He's just so hilarious. He's always just cutting up, and he's really fun. Okay, this one here. Twitter is going batshit because there's a picture of two toddlers, and it's a girl in pink scrubs, a boy in green. His says doctor in training, hers says nurse in training, and everybody's going crazy, saying that's sexist, you know, white, you know, blah blah blah. So there's two categories of fights going on right now. There are the people who are like, well, that's just sexist, blah, blah, blah. Then there's other people saying, get over yourselves. There's a lot of male nurses. I mean, there's only 13%, but way more. Oh,
actually, I was in the hospital for several days, and I had a lot of male nurses and stuff like that. But honestly, I don't, you know, it would have been fine. I really hate the pink blue distinction. I think it's just idiotic. They could have just made them green scrubs. I mean, when you do that, I mean, you know, there's no reason why refrigerator has to be pink, or the nurse thing has to be pink, or the doctor thing has to be this color, or, you know, I mean, just, you know, they stepped in it. And you're going right down stereotypes. And like I said, you know, I mean, is it something that, you know, I think you just write a letter going, you know, green scrubs would be fine.
Yeah. Well, there's every damn color scrubs too.
Yeah, it's going through there. But when you go down that pink blue, I just love the fact that eons and eons ago, pink was a boy color.
Oh yeah,
because it was so different. Red dyes and pink dyes and all that sort of stuff were fairly expensive, and so they just put it on the boys.
That's funny. Can you imagine the headline? Okay, so you know the chyrons at the bottom of the news. Birmingham, Alabama, scrolled college team wins sex tournament when it was supposed to be SEC tournament. And if you look on a QWERTY keyboard, X is right next to C.
Oh, yeah.
That made it.
I mean, I love a good typo like that.
It's fantastic.
You're just sitting there, you're doing whatever it is, and then you glance up. I can just see that. You glance up and go, did I just see that? And now, since you can play back live TV, you can just swing back and go, yes, I did in fact see that.
Some of the comments, geez, congratulations to Auburn.
Woo.
Woohoo!
I know someone that went there. I'll have to ask him.
Yeah.
You know, how the sex team was when he was there.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I'll get a hear.
I mean, what are the tryouts for that? Yeah. I don't know. So
all comers.
Yeah.
Every night.
That was quick. So I have a question. So we haven't talked about this, but I mean we're in April now, so that means Pride is what?
Oh God, 2 months away now because it's a week earlier here. A lot of places in the country, instead of the last full weekend in June, it's going to be the second to last full week in June because a lot of folks are going to be out in New York for the 50th anniversary of Stonewall.
Oh, okay.
So that's very important. Yeah, and we got the booth, confirmed everything. I'm really looking forward to this year. We took a year off last year because everyone was just fucking tired.
Yeah.
But we're looking forward to it this year. I'm going to try and make it easier on us so that we're just not, because you have to be there all day, then you have to pack it up, and then you bring it back out the next morning. I mean, it's not like something at the convention center where you could just, put sheets over everything, zip tie stuff down.
And they lock it.
And then they lock it.
Because it's outside.
It's outside. Yeah. And then,
So what all will you have this year?
Well, we're really looking at, we've got really good information over what we've actually sold over there over the past quite a number of years. And we're just, and I used to tell you, well, let's show that we have this, let's show that we have that. But we put up a 20 by 20 tent. Mm-hmm. And that's a lot of merchandise. I mean, it's a 400 square foot store that we, have to, build, then take down and then build again and then take down. And we're like, and then if it rains, you got to drop the sides and then you lose a little bit because there's always some place you miss for, rain control. But we do sell a fair amount of men's underwear, so we're bringing that out. Mm-hmm. We sell less women's wear, so we'll be bringing less of that out. We sell a lot of lube, so there'll be more of that. We'll bring stuff up. We'll bring out the dildos. We'll bring out some of the vibrators, but not as much. We do okay on some of the fun novelties because it's something people can just open up and be silly with. A plastic lei with penises on it or a wand. Just different things like that. But we are just. I used to say, well, let's show what we've got. I'm like, we've been in business over 40 years. I think people got the idea.
Okay.
Let's try and make this easier on us. You know what I mean? So we're not just, it's, and then, and also to make it easier because there are people with sticky fingers out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Sadly. Mm-hmm. Well, we're looking forward to that. Is there anything else coming up on deck?
Not too much. We've got that new Sensual line has some new vibrators coming in, and those are being priced. They'll be out in the stores probably Friday.
Okay.
And then little Bullet Vibes. They have little detachable different heads now. I'm not sure what we got in, but in a morning meeting this morning, Tara was like, yeah, we got something in, and it just sort of has a hole in it. And it's a masturbator. And we were laughing because I said, did I just hear that? And because a lot of times masturbators will have the outside will look like a vulva or the outside will look like a mouth or the outside will look like an ass. I think these are just holes. And I think they've spent time dealing with the interior, feel and textures versus putting, something on the outside of the vibrator. Cosmetic, yeah. And it was just, it's just a hole. I just paused because it was like it broken into like two conversations for a moment, and this is what I heard out of one ear, and I'm like, did I just hear? What did I just? Oh. Still, it's totally fascinating sometimes the sentences that I find around here. So
it is a fun place to visit. Mm-hmm. It is.
And then, so that's I think. And like I said, that we had a new saffron line, which is sort of this beautiful red-colored line of bondage gear and paddles from Sports Sheets. So that went out a few weeks ago, and it's been quite popular. And so, but I'm really, like I said, I love the new Sensual brand, and I love Sports Sheets. So I'm real glad that we got a few new things in from them for spring.
Okay, well, happy spring to you, and hopefully a lot of good stuff will spring up in your bedroom and life.
Yeah, right now a nap sounds excellent.